I used to believe few things in life were purer than laughter. The kind that springs up naturally, unforced, when you're with someone you love. That night, at our anniversary party, I realized laughter could also cut sharper than any knife. My wife, Rachel, had insisted on hosting it. Just something small, she said. Close friends, some drinks, good music. We'd been married 7 years, together nearly a decade. I thought it was her way of rekindling something fading slowly over time. She had been distant. Smiles that didn't reach her eyes, touches that felt obligatory rather than affectionate. I told myself it was stress, work, life. The house looked perfect. Candles flickered against the walls, soft jazz played, and everyone seemed to be laughing. Rachel moved through the room in a red dress that hugged her like confidence itself. She looked radiant, maybe too radiant. When our friend Kevin commented on her recent glow, I smiled, oblivious to what he was hinting at. Drinks flowed easily. Rachel loved attention when tipsy, and I loved seeing her happy. Around 10, she suggested a game, Truth or Dare for adults. It began lightheartedly. Who kissed their boss once? Who still had a celebrity crush? But the questions soon got personal. Truth, she said when it was her turn, glass raised, grinning. Our friend Mia leaned forward. All right, Rachel. What's something you've done that Mark doesn't know? Laughter rippled around the room. Rachel sipped her wine. Oh, that's easy, she said, slightly slurred. I kissed someone at work once. Stupid mistake. The room laughed, some nervously, some genuinely. I tried to stay composed, but something twisted in my stomach. She avoided my gaze. Wait, when was this? Someone asked. Rachel waved it off. Ages ago. Doesn't matter. The moment passed, or seemed to, but her tone wasn't defensive. Careless, almost casual. Like she wasn't worried I'd ever find out. I tried to shake it off. People say dumb things drunk. Half an hour later, I caught her laughing with Kevin in the kitchen. He whispered something I couldn't hear, and she smacked his arm playfully. You promised you'd never bring that up.
He froze as he saw me in the doorway.
She didn't. She smiled like nothing was wrong and offered me another drink. Inside me, something went quiet. Not anger, not panic, just eerily still. I had always imagined I'd feel rage if she ever cheated. Instead, it felt like my lungs had turned to glass. Her laughter grew louder, freer. At one point, she leaned back on the couch beside me, wine in hand. You know, if Mark ever found out about... She stopped mid-sentence. The room fell silent. Then she covered her mouth, laughing. Kidding. Oh my God, I'm kidding. The laughter that followed was thin, awkward. My heart pounded. Later, after the guests left, Rachel stumbled upstairs humming. I cleaned up. Empty glasses, half-eaten food, spilled wine mingling with perfume. Her phone lay on the counter, lit up with a notification. Had fun tonight, winking face from Kevin. That was the moment the quiet inside me shattered. I stared at it until the screen dimmed, my reflection staring back. 7 simple words, far from harmless. My hands were steady as I set the phone down. I went upstairs slowly. The bedroom door was half open. Rachel asleep, makeup smudged, hair tangled. That red dress draped over a chair. She looked peaceful, almost maddeningly so. I sat on the bed, watching her breathe. For a moment, I wanted to wake her, demand the truth, see her face when the lie ended. Instead, I turned off the light, eyes on the dark ceiling. The laughter downstairs still echoed faintly. Morning came. She was cheerful, too cheerful. You were quiet last night, she said over coffee, hair tied up, smile bright but forced. Didn't have fun. Yeah, I said. Memorable, she laughed, oblivious to my tone. Good. Everyone had a blast. I looked at her and thought about the woman I'd married. The one who used to fall asleep on my shoulder, leave notes in my lunch. Had she vanished? Or had I imagined her entirely? I watched her over the next few days. The way she smiled at her phone, the subtle shift in tone when she worked late, the small flinch when I asked about Kevin. I invited her to dinner. Just us. She hesitated, then nodded. At the restaurant, I told her everything, the text, the slip at the party, Kevin's face in the kitchen. Her smile vanished. "Mark," she whispered, "it's not what you think." "Then tell me what I should think." She opened her mouth, closed it, eyes watering. "It was a mistake. Didn't mean anything." I let silence stretch. "A few months," she admitted. The waiter asked about dessert. Timing cruel. I shook my head. She whispered, "I'm sorry." I nodded. "Me too." I paid the bill, walked her to the car. She reached for my hand. I slipped mine into my pocket. Drive home silent, each breath loud. "You don't have to explain anymore. I get it."
She panicked.
"Mark, please, we can fix it." But that night had cracked something fundamental. Trust isn't rebuilt. It exists or it doesn't. That weekend, she stayed with her sister. I packed her things carefully, not spitefully but properly. Folded her favorite sweater, now smelling like endings. A week later, she returned for the last of her things. Eyes red, hands trembling. "I never wanted to hurt you," she said. "I know," I replied. "But you did anyway." She wanted to say more. Said nothing. I watched her drive away. The red dress visible in the back seat. The quiet that followed wasn't empty. It was clean. That night, alone, whiskey beside me, I realized love doesn't always end with shouting or slammed doors. Sometimes it ends with laughter at a party, a careless slip, and the slow acceptance that the person beside you stopped being yours long before you knew it. I didn't block her, didn't text her. I moved on. In a strange way, I'm grateful for that drunken confession. It spared me years of pretending, years of waiting for something dead. Truth doesn't always scream. Sometimes it slurs over a glass of wine and finally sets you free.